The different motions and stuff that were approved by this one for that. I think I motioned more than I was.
You can sit right here.
But that doesn't matter.
Well,
I did.
Eric's not almost that, but you got a check for it.
So. There's been all discussion all meetings.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, but let's get with our workshop. Okay, do your thing, Eddie.
Are we the only ones? Are we the only ones?
We're not gonna have.
This is a work session?
Yeah,
The applicant?
which I have a
No.
question on the applicant.
He asked if you needed to be here, so I recommend you be here, there's not a requirement, and then you spoke with Carol. And she mentioned she was gonna be here.
Well, I have
Maybe
a
she should be
question.
here.
Whose property does it belong to? Does it belong to the Hutchinson?
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
So why is he the contractor or the,
He is, no, he's leasing that building from.
so he gets a permit for it?
Right.
I think $300, so.
If you see the application, it will actually case, Tom Hutchinson who signed it. As, MCD partnership.
Oh, it's Elizabeth, thank you, thank you.
Scare you.
I don't see that.
So he's
Yeah,
only
no.
requesting approval, and Tom Hutchinson said it was okay with that,
Yeah.
and he's gonna do the work.
Don't know yet. Some, somebody knows how to
Just
do
carpentry.
It's 5:29.
it. Just in time.
We're on.
By your block.
So make sure noted. Noted.
Tom Hutchinson is the person signing it, but it was submitted by MCDE.
Yes, they are the company that he is under property of the business.
Please get the owner of the property.
Under the,
Contractor.
Doñana County, that's how it's listed. He's got that property listed under that. I don't know if it's a trust fund or a family or some kind of trust, but it's not, it's an LLC.
So Rodrigo is a partner?
Rodrigo was the tenant that leasing from, all right, this is the work session. This is Monday, December 16th. Today, right now is 5:30 p.m. We are gathered here with the family of Pzhac to discuss a case, a request from MCBE Partners slash LLC slash Rodrigo Quevedo, which is a tenant. Case number is 061934. The address is 2469 Calle de Guadalupe, commonly known as Palm Theater. They are requesting an approval for, to do modification on the front box office window. They want to install a door, a wooden door slash cover to secure the window whenever there's no, they close for business in the front entrance there. If you notice, I did contact, Cultural Affairs, Carl from Cultural Affairs to see if there's any grants or any kind of funding for that property, and she says, no, that's all up to the municipality to determine the outcome of the request. Mr. Quevedo is a person that I contacted with, I'm in contact with. He is looking to restore a box office window to include adding a wood cover over it, when not in use. The room behind the window is currently used for storage. Mr. Quevedo would like to convert the room back to where the cashier used to be, and using the window as the ticket. It's
So we
intended
used to
for-
be, it's not really covered.
And I think it's great, I think it's awesome. So my understanding, they're looking to clean that up, it's a storage behind, looking to clean it up. The reason why I need a cover on that door is because obviously when they're closed for business, they want to secure it a little bit better, more properly. There are some pictures that he submitted along with his application. There is an email there. There are some pictures, I apologize, somebody's gonna go up to them. when I was on the phone, I printed it off my phone. But basically, the window looks similar, you guys can see it for you. But this will be, there's a picture, some drawings, behind it where this is gonna be hinged. The frame's gonna be made out of metal, and the window is gonna cover the window. At first, I thought he wanted to put 2 windows, I'm like, why?
It was a
why-
little,
why-
yeah,
why-
a little bit.
So anywho, I talked to him over the phone, and said, no, that's just gonna be like a, rough draft of what we need. That's about it. I mean,
Be a metal door or?
As a wood door.
Wood.
The frame will be.
Metal frame.
Exactly.
And this part is not gonna change at all, it's gonna
That's
remain,
right.
this is the one we're talking about. That's it.
That's it.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
with it. I don't have a problem.
I did have Carol took some more pictures of the inside, on the other side of this window.
Mhm.
And it's barred, it's metal barred, and there's a little slot underneath where you
Just
can
like
take
a-
your, yeah, just, yeah. So, I had a couple concerns is you will notice on the one picture, the entry door into it opens out, which is great from the fire standpoint, but it's gonna open right into so I'd recommend that they rehinge that and have it open out still to the left.
Is that the only entrance, they have another entrance for?
You know, they do have
I thought they had one on the left also.
they did, but I think they want to use this one.
What would be the advantage of mentioning the other
Well, because it opens
People are
into the
chicken
window.
sales.
They're gonna be standing in line to pay their entry fee. So that's why.
Well, they didn't
the door-
mention that on the application,
Why not?
and we're actually just gonna approve that window. I think the door would be another.
I think it's a matter of,
It could be a condition.
yeah, I mean, but is it something that violates, fire code or anything like that, that's gonna prevent that? cover
It's
to be-
not an exit.
You know, sorry,
It's not an exit.
just not, see, I don't know much about this building, they say there's another
Because that
door.
can be a legal
I
exit.
thought that was another, is there another door?
On the other side of the main,
Yeah, there's 2 entrances, this one and this
but this is the one they use.
one. Unless-
Now, maybe they could pay here and then go around and use the other.
Well, that's what I was thinking, oh, leave it open on the other.
Yeah, I just,
But they open their
So
eyes
the other
and
door's
get
on
to
this
the
side, right?
box office.
Yeah,
That's
is there another door?
why we want them to be here, but
Yeah.
I'll talk
Ask them what, yeah,
to them. If they are gonna use it, I think the best we can probably do is recommend that they rehinge it over to this other side. I just don't know, I know there's something with the code to where if they're gonna be right hand, it's gotta swing obviously out, but at the same time, I don't know if it's
Well,
gonna
wouldn't the
be.
fire marshal be more appropriate to answer that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I would ask them, it's a concern, and I would ask them just to see where that
you
is.
definitely ask them now.
To see where that is, and if it's something that needs to happen now.
So Wendy, as you, so say, you know, you're on Plaza and you walk, you want to go see a movie or, and so you go in, so if you're going in, that's facing east, right?
That is
Yes,
facing.
That's entrance
that's,
facing east. So my question is, my question is, so when you're going in, this is gonna be on the right side.
It is.
Okay, what about the left?
That's what.
That's
yeah,
the
I
ticket office,
mentioned
wasn't
that, I
it?
said that there's another door on the opposite end.
Yeah.
And I think years ago, didn't they even use that center there to buy tickets? That's
Uh-huh,
what we
I
used to.
remember, it was a kid
I
there.
went in through there.
So on the left?
Yeah.
No, it was
Well,
kiosk.
I didn't even know there was another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where that
Okay, so this is the right side.
Correct.
So this is just to, do
I was
what,
hoping-
what's the objective of this?
Put a something similar to a door, a cover over the window whenever, they open it up as business. Because they wanna go back to using it as a box office window. Right now, currently behind it is a storage room.
Yeah.
And they wanna clean it up, put the cashier back there and everything, but so the concern of having a cashier and everything there is to secure the window when not used.
But I think Yolanda's correct as far as I talked to Carol, and this larger containment here is for the posters,
Right.
which was shown at that time. If you go inside and on the back side of that, there's a kind of hallway between the two doors, like you mentioned. And in the middle is that's where they sell the popcorn. So Carol thought maybe at one point, and I don't know when, that was where you bought. I mean, most theaters are like that.
Yeah,
But so when I mentioned to Carol, I said, well, it'd be nice for us to know historically if that was the case and when it would happen. Because it seems like that might have been the main picture place, and then later they changed it.
They did.
So it'd be nice to know, maybe, if, I think we're gonna go back to something, we gotta go back to the original.
I agree with you, yeah,
So,
I agree with
That-
that.
That's,
Actually,
that's
that's
a
what
good
I was
idea.
hoping it would be this one and not.
yeah, because there is a little alcove in the backside where a person can sit there.
So we're just
Yeah.
switching it over to the other side.
Yeah.
I wish
Well,
I
it
could show
was,
that.
at some point it was over there, because if you look at the pictures, of which I know Carol was gonna take some pictures, and she sent it to me, that she was gonna come to the meeting. On the backside of that is bars. So at some point it was the ticket.
It was, I
Yeah.
know.
Okay,
So maybe.
Before my time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that.
No, I'm just,
No.
I'm, no, you guys know.
I mean, that makes sense.
And that would, I wish they would restore this. This one is hidden, and you're absolutely right, the door, although there is no door here, but this would be ideal. And
Then
I
they
would
wouldn't
like
have to
more
switch.
information.
And I think if everybody's on board with that, I'm on board as well. I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea. I think, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, if you want to do box office window, the commission is to use this one.
Just do that one, because it really is there already.
It would be nice to find pictures that kind of said when that was the case. Anyway.
So where would their poster board go?
Well, that's another issue. Maybe that's why they have it there now.
Well, they can do it on this side.
But it wouldn't be visible.
Yeah, it's right behind.
And they wouldn't let them put it on that wall right there, right?
Why not?
I don't know, because then it'd be visible.
Which one, the side?
Yeah.
Inside?
Outside.
Well, la posta
Oh,
has a
yeah.
sign there.
Yeah,
They've
outside,
got-
outside.
Yeah, they can, not.
Yeah, it's
La
I
posta
mean,
has
it's
a
gonna come up for a
beautiful-
vote, it's up, because it is listed on their agenda for consideration.
Why,
How do you guys decide?
why are we having a workshop about this?
Because, this, according to our preservation section of our code, any historic buildings, significant especially, needs to have a historical appropriateness permit before we put in consideration to the agenda. So from here on out, or I've been doing this for the last 2-3 cases, any
Right.
significant building any building really in general that is considerable construction needs to have a historical appropriateness permit.
So should we, given so many questions, should we go ahead and just not even vote on
I would postpone it or until we get
it?
more
Get more
information.
information. Maybe we can
Maybe
find some
Carol
historic
comments this
pictures.
month, then.
Well, I told her. 5:30 is when we're gonna have the work session.
And I told
Yeah, she might.
I told that, but I recommend from be here, but obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so you can only decide so much.
I think the consensus now is everybody would like to see where it goes.
I think it's
That is really the appropriate place to have it. You're absolutely
And then-
right with the door.
And then allow them to
You
put
wouldn't have to
one,
move the door.
you know, if we could allow them to put one here so that the clothes are still visible.
We're the ones that make that determination.
Well, I'm in agreement with that. Yes. So I think we need to table this, is that what we're doing?
That's what everybody's-
Yeah, we just table it.
What would be what information would we request?
Let's
We
see if
need
they'll
to
use
talk to
the
the
original one.
I'm sorry?
We need to talk to the applicant, okay, then to see, we consider the location of the box office, he might do it here, because this door is gonna create a problem. And now we have another issue of changing the door, fire department has to be.
Yeah, it could, yeah, I have to
So
do
when
with
you
that
were
too as
talking
well.
about changing hinges, you were talking about the entry door?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the
No,
ticket office
No,
door.
No, no,
no, no.
Why?
And another thing is, if indeed this was, another thing, indeed, if this was the original box office window, I think it'd be nice to bring it back to this.
Yeah, I love that, Eddie.
So they have an option.
I think it'd be awesome having it there. I mean,
Yes.
most old theaters,
Well, I
like,
think-
Right where it is. Oh, come on up here.
We were talking about
Join the table.
We'll see.
Okay. Thank you. I have, oh, you have that picture. I have 3 copies and then I ran out
Yes,
of
there is.
paper.
Oh, okay.
I'm Carol.
Thank you.
McCall. That's a good one. Anyway, so
Okay.
what's up?
We have a little,
Well,
question. We would like
we're-
for you,
Go ahead.
no, we were talking about all of this, and there was some concerns with the door, you know, where the ticket office would be. Was this the original ticket box office?
We don't know.
It was.
The 2 historic photos that I have aren't clear enough to show.
It's not a good shot.
Yeah, they're taken from an angle, and I don't have it here, but, Eric thought that Eric Liefeld might have more pictures, and I'm actually thinking that Al Fountain might know.
He would, and at the
he's my
university,
neighbor.
our brothers,
Yeah.
okay. But I believe this was the original ticket box office, and if it
Yes,
was, we would prefer to have this as your ticket box.
Part of the problem with that is that then we wouldn't have a marquee.
Oh, well, I'm the answer.
You have an idea.
My turn.
Yes, what is here on this?
You would
wall?
give us a variance.
Yes.
Well, look, as you can see, La Costa has the Virgen de Guadalupe, and we allow that in the sign. I do not see a problem with you having something.
Wow.
If it's for the sake of taking this building back to its
original.
original historic site, I think it's something that the commission.
Yeah,
We're not saying cutting in, we could say maybe you could put a nice.
yeah. You know what? You know who else would know? Do you guys know Jim Billings?
I've heard of
Or do you remember Robert Hollinger from years and years ago? Jim Billings and Robert Hollinger renovated the concession stand, and Jim built this marquee. So he would know what it looks like before he built it.
Is he around?
He is. I saw him the other day because, I was telling him that our display cases in the lobby need some work, and,
Well, let me tell you something, I was born for the post office, you know, for the bar.
yeah.
You're born
We
in Florida.
played right there, we
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
there in the fountain theater. Between where the big room is, where La Costa is now, and the fountain theater, we
And
played.
there was a tree, the tree got cut down because of the fiesta room, but I remember that before it was the wine tasting and everything. Well then, yeah, because Al is not much older, if any, than, like, I'm 71, he's probably like 78 maybe. And so both of you, anybody who was
I
around,
think my sister might have some pictures with my grandmother, you know, we have pictures of grandma and standing out
David
there.
Lupan.
Oh, David Kahn, by all means, yeah.
Might remember.
To do if, we allow that. It's something to do.
Yeah, because we have, you know, thought, how can we promote the theater and make it a little more interesting? And everybody has mentioned doing display cases on the outside of what's coming.
Right.
But then, I mean, I just said, there's no way.
These guys would approve that.
The town museum would let us do that.
And for the sake, like Eddie said, of saving that,
Box
that
office.
box office, which originally, you know, by all means, I don't know. I think that would be.
And I'm sure you draw the line at digital box office, digital marquee.
Yeah.
That's a little too modern for what
Had asked. Okay.
So we were looking, actually, before you just showed, we're actually looking to postpone, it's under our agenda to make a decision, and we really don't have all the answers, all the questions answered right now. And it looks like, you might wanna go back and ask some questions also about how it used to be. So we'll postpone the decision for considering it till our following meeting.
Okay, and then that gives me a chance, I'll get with Rodrigo and we can, we will have to talk to Tom, and the board, but I know the board will be in favor of it. You know, my dream, and this is not gonna be in my time, I don't think, but the original facade was mud plaster. Not adobe, with some adobe bricks exposed, and the old photos probably that are in your lobby show that, with brick coating on the top. And that would be so cool. If we could get funding for that. Well, thank you.
All right. That is positive for all of us.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
I'm glad you came.
it. Well, I appreciate it a lot, it's exciting.
Now that we know the other story.
Yeah. Well, we'll come and pick your brain about, other stuff.
Okay.
And movies, because I love to show some of the Mexican movies.
Thank you.
That's all I know. I didn't.
Afraid to mention it, yes.
Everybody good?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
You have one of these?
Yeah, that's helpful.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Start at 6?
We're gonna start right now.
Start now? But I have it on the agenda at 6 though.
I say after the meeting.
Since I figured 30 minutes wasn't gonna be enough time, I'm like, man, you know what?
Yeah.
Should've just, next time, from now on, it's meeting continue right after. We can get it
That
done.
would be better in it. It says
Well,
we
we
can
can
immediately follow.
Oh.
There you go.
So,
Let me help Eddie move the two.
All right.
Cable's back.
Get people back there. Much better. I've been going to physical therapy, so no.
You know,
This stays here, right?
Yeah.
Here's this chair. Oh, here's your purse. I'll pass it.
can't forget your first.
Oh, no. All right. So.
See, I got so rattled when I saw you. I left my phone in the car. That's just as good. I don't have to turn it off.
Test.
Set my phone down so nobody thought the phone was connected to me.
So when, you have to
Ready to start paving.
Eddie, you said 6, right?
No, we did it after this meeting. So whenever you're ready, Madam Chair, we can start. Whenever you're ready, you can start.
Okay, regular meeting, immediately follow the work session. All right, we don't have one anyway, right?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, it works.
Hello. No, mine doesn't.
Hello?
Mine doesn't.
I can hear you.
You can?
It works.
Let's do this then. All right. All right. Today is Monday, December the 16th, 2024. We are here for the Planning, Zoning, and Historical Appropriateness Commission regular meeting. first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. If we stand, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is roll call and determination of a quorum.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Present.
Commissioner Miller,
Present.
Commissioner Alba,
Present.
Commissioner Walkinshaw,
Present.
and Madam Chair Lucero, present. Madam Chair, you have quorum.
5-0. Okay, our next item is changes in approval of agenda, and there was some correction on the meeting minutes. On number 7, let me take out my papers. The terms, Mr. Walkinshaw did ask at the meeting whose terms were up. And the two positions that are took for another year is Miller and Gallegos. They were appointed for 2 years. They still have a year left. Miller represented, take over for Arcibal. And that's.
Yeah,
what
we
she
didn't
said.
know.
Oh, I both of you guys missed
That's
up.
why I said secretary, because of him.
Oh.
There were 3 positions that ended December, and that was Rockstraw, which Mr. Walkinshaw took over. You took over Salas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because he finally gave his resignation, and I'm going.
Okay.
So that's the correction. So there's
Okay.
3 leaving in December, and 2 still have a year left.
Now, Madam Chair, this is for the changes in the approval of agenda. Is that on the agenda somewhere?
Well, I had it on number 7. I mean, I wanted to make the correction there. I wasn't at the meeting. So if you want to add that as a correction or add it for the next meeting minutes, but in reality, that is the way it is. It's-
I'm just saying at what point, because changes approvals agenda is like,
Do you want to fix it on this? Let's fix it on this one.
got it.
Okay, so other than that, are there any other changes?
Well, I did have a change on number 2, is we actually did have a full quorum. That was 4 quorum.
That's for the minutes?
Yeah, on the minutes, yeah.
Quorum established for
Number 2
5.
on the minutes.
Okay. Now, just again, this is for the changes in the approval agenda. I believe the minutes are under the consent agenda.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, we do have a full quorum. It's because Commissioner Mulvihill filled in, right?
So this
So
would be
I'll make that
change.
adjustment now, but we'll vote on that whenever the consent agenda comes up. Right now, it was just for the agenda itself. Are there any changes for that?
Yeah, okay, so I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by
Did have
Commissioner.
a comment, we're gonna drop that last project, right? Or did you-
Yeah, and you want to drop it now? You want to pull it now? Or did you want to, when you vote on it for consideration, you can always say, I'll postpone. Well, either way works.
So it was Gallegos, and who did the second? Commissioner Miller. Call for the vote, Eddie, please. Mr.
Commissioner-
Salazar.
Commissioner Gallegos?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw?
Yes.
And Commissioner Alba? Madam Chair Lucero?
Yes,
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
approval of the agenda. At this time, we do have public input. The public is invited to address the commission regarding items listed on the agenda as allowed by the chair. You may also email your comments to clerktreasurer@messia.nm.gov, at least 17 hours. Rick?
Susan Kruger. I just wanted to comment on item B under discussion, so it'd be 6B, which is the business owners requesting approval to be allowed to display merchandise outside their store. This only works.
Under discussion, 6B.
Go ahead. They didn't know which section.
Go ahead, Ms.
They know now.
Kruger.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is 6B.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see.
You're correct.
Regarding being allowed to display merchandise outside their stores. This only works if they do not, if the merchandise does not somehow impact the sidewalk. And you have to be really careful of that because the town bears the responsibility if somebody were to trip or fall. So I don't know about considering that, to allow that without at least some input from the attorney, or if you feel you need more input. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Kruger. Anyone else? Okay, I don't see any, then move forward. Our next item is approval of the consent agenda. Of course, anything in asterisk is for consideration. That would be December 2nd, 2024, planning, zoning, and historical regular meeting minutes. The case 061930, case 061931, case 061932. Okay, I got them all. All right, I'll accept a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Walkinshaw, second by Commissioner Gallegos. Is there any discussion on this before we call for the vote? Call for the vote, Mr. Salazar, please.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Alba,
Yes.
and Madam Chair Lucero.
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you. All right, items up for discussion, that would be number 6, and we start with A, signage discussion regarding case 061922. What is considered to be a sign, on how many signs would be allowed in the location? Let's pull out 022. Mr. Salazar, if you want to give us a,
Yes, the reason why I put this on here, I believe I brought it up last meeting. This is a gentleman that came into my office requesting a sign permit. He was unaware that he needed to obtain a permit through the town of Mesilla. Matter of fact, he already had changed the signage on the property, or in the process. Not all of them, but he was on the process of changing them. And the reason why that is because he's recent owner, new owner for the commonly known as Shorties. Now it's called Lucky's. And he was getting a lot of phone calls from the credit card companies for credit card fraud due to the name of the business. So for him, he was kind of in a hurry, to get it done to stop that from happening. So he submitted the application, submitted some pictures and such, and I collected them. And I mentioned that I was going to bring it to the commission. I went out there, I did a site visit, and I did notice there's a lot of signage that I'd like to bring up to the commission for discussion, not necessarily for this case, but an overall case as far as the intent of the code, and also how is that going to relate to other areas of the town, other commercial zones, and is there anything consideration that we need to look at our code to be able to accommodate a request or a location such as a convenience store. Me as a convenience store, typically there are a lot of signs, there's a lot of advertising for Cokes and stuff like that. So, and I know for a fact that this just didn't happen when he took over the ownership. That's been like that for a very long time. I just don't think it was brought up to the forefront that businesses are only allowed two permit, or 2 signs per permit under the sign ordinance that we have, right? So again, I brought it up for discussion just so we can be on the same page and see where to go from there. And I stand by for any questions.
Mr. Salazar.
okay, excuse me?
My apologies.
Yeah. Okay, we are opening it up for discussion, and we will go one at a time. I was going to ask a question, if you don't mind first.
Sure.
The first one you asked, a recent sign application was denied by the planning and zoning and appealed. The Board of Trustees approved the sign request due to MTC needing to be inconsistent with current business previously and currently being approved sign. Which case are we talking about?
That one there in particular was the one with Madeline's, the old town Madeline's, where an applicant, I think it's called a massage place, a Silver Soul, I believe it was called. They wanted to put a sign on the property, but because Madeline's already had two signs on the building itself. I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the case. So we denied it, right, because it was already part of the, according to our code, and the board of trustees decided that they were going to allow it. Correct.
Okay. What does our sign ordinance is very specific in two signs. That's what our ordinance states.
Correct.
We have not changed it forever. We've never changed it. We've never given any exceptions to gas stations or anything like that. Like you said, they've always been. Lately, we've seen a lot of sandwich signs. We've got 5 signs in the corner here. We've got a lot of signs everywhere, and they're out of control. Mr. Gallegos, what was your intake?
Madam Chair, I concur. I just was wanting to understand the difference between, because you're looking at Shorty's and now he's Lucky, and I don't know how lucky he is because there are too many signs on the property, and I'm wondering where's the threshold for the number of signs you can post within the town of Mesilla.
That is why that's why I mentioned the ordinance. Our ordinance is specific. It's allowed 2 signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you look at the document, ordinance does state, I see a town code, I don't have it, I think I have it.
And I didn't bring my book, I'm sorry.
But it is the specific, it does say that you'll have 2 signs per business, or if a business shares, if a building shares more than one business, is one sign permitted, plus directory sign on each side of the building, it says. But again, I don't know, is Shorty's having that many signs, does it fall under the same section, which it should, right? Because that's how it's written. But again, I'm bringing this up for discussion to be able to see what was the intent of this code, right? And how, if he's not allowed, how do we separate the sign ordinance for the plaza and so, which I think is more directed to, and then a commercial zone, like such as a convenience store, or I don't know, in a regular commercial zone. As it stands right now, 2 signs is the only thing that's allowed.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But again, we can learn from this case, right?
This must have been an exception, correct?
Correct.
Somewhere along the line, we allowed for this
Well,
to be I'm guessing that the town of Mesilla allowed for the signage to occur as is at some point.
I don't believe that ever happened. I don't ever believe that they ever came in for any sign, to be honest with you.
I think it was something that, I think it was overlooked.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Because again, convenience stores, everywhere you go have
Yeah.
advertising signs. And according to our code, advertising outside is not allowed for signs are only allowed for business names.
Right.
Because they all come on in, such as convenience store.
And I'm trying to remember back because I've been serving for a long time, and I do remember years ago, Shorty's did have a problem with their signs, and it was brought to their attention. And I think he cut back, but then as time went on, it's just coming back, and it wasn't enforced. Our job here, commissioners, as you know, is to enforce the code. It's not up to us to change the code. It's up to the Board of Trustees to do that. Our job is to do what the book says. Now, we can talk about, should the penalty of installing an unreviewed signs be double the fee? I think they should, because it's not within, if they're over limit on signs. Does each sign in this circumstance require a sign application? I believe it does. Total of 14 signs in the exterior part of the business visible to the street. He's violated the code. So that is my take. I'm wanting to hear the applicants.
Right.
I mean, the.
I do.
Are these, all these Lucky signs, are they already on the building?
They are,
They are.
unfortunately.
So they didn't
Okay.
ask permission for it.
Commissioner Miller had her arm up first.
I guess I have a little problem with having a previous business person being allowed to have all these signs. Somebody comes in and buys the business and would have no idea
I know.
that all of a sudden the town is going to clamp down on him. And to me, this is quite a ways from the historical plaza area. And everywhere you go, you see signage like
Nothing's
this.
changed except the name.
I don't understand how we can clamp down on this business.
A little extreme.
Aren't they somewhat grandfathered in because
That's
that
not
was allowed prior to?
That's not the same business. It's a new
But
business.
has nothing, Mr. Salazar, nothing has changed except the name, correct?
Yeah.
They're not adding more signage,
Ownership.
has changed.
just ownership,
New
yeah.
grocery
The
receipt
name,
tax,
the
new
ownership.
whole grocery
Right.
receipt taxes,
Correct.
everything is changed.
Correct, yeah, okay,
It just doesn't seem fair to me.
right.
Yeah, I do have a comment. I would kind of wonder or question, every gas station has a price.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it would seem like, is that really a sign? And then you look at these old signs on each register or it's a little lucky thing that's it's like
Advertisement.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they really have. I don't think we could say, okay,
Count
we
those as
count all these
signs?
signs and we're saying like 14. I don't really think some of those aren't really signs.
They look like beer
How many
sales.
are
to me.
actual signs? How many
Well,
are
he said 14.
actual?
There
You're
is
circled.
it says Lucky's. It also has one on top. That says Lucky's.
So they're more like a logo on.
And
a-
also on the gas
Yeah,
pumps.
logos.
Each gas
Mhm.
tank has a logo. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are logos. Would that be considered a sign?
Again,
It's a logo.
Discussion, not saying that it shouldn't be approved, I'm just saying, so we can start thinking about, because what happens if another business proposed something similar to this?
Yeah.
And it's having my name out on a certain piece of equipment, gonna be okay because we just decided that, in the commercial zone is okay. It's far away from the plaza, I think the intent that we have in our code was more directed towards the plaza itself and not so much in the commercial zone, but it's not written.
It's written that
Well,
way,
we
yeah.
also got the winery there in the corner, Spotted Dog. He had to comply by our sign
Yeah.
ordinance. He had to
But
comply.
But he's a business and
And
a
this
sign
isn't.
would, no, let me finish. He has a business and a sign is drawing in his business. A gas station is just so different that I don't, I see these individual ones more as logos than
All right, so-
signage.
Okay, and I'm okay
My
with the gas
definition.
station. I'm all right with that. Shorty's, that little guy's still gonna stay up there. That little
I don't know why.
guy.
He's lucky
He's
now.
a
He's
lucky.
lucky now, yeah.
So,
Lucky shorty.
it doesn't say the logo.
Mr. Salazar, I actually see like a sign being circled on the second to last page of the propane tank cage. Is that a sign too?
That's why I brought it up to I wanna kind of see where you guys stand, what is considered a sign, that's what something that came from.
Okay,
Again, it's a propane tank, right, cage.
Mhm.
yeah,
It has a sign of the cage, is that considered a
that's a
sign?
sign.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in the
It's a
office speaking with these
safety.
applicants, if they
Yeah.
wanna request to do something, I wanna be able to tell them, okay, yes, that's considered one, or yes, this is not.
Mhm.
So I think
Okay.
it depends on what the commission decides. Do I personally think that's a sign? I don't think it is.
Mhm.
But, that code states
Like
two sides.
The water machine outside is a
Yeah,
sign,
the ice machine.
or the ice machine, yeah, it's.
I have a comment. I think that all the extra signages are a little much. Like,
Extreme,
on the
I
propane
agree.
It's extreme.
It is extreme.
$15 For beer or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
wherever that guy's walking, I think that's all too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if it's on the gas tank, because people need to know where they're buying gas from,
Yeah.
I think that that's fine. And the one where it has how much it costs, you see your point of Lucky's, because everybody is still, even though you told us this the other day, even in my mind, I still call it short.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
to me, he would be better off to put Lucky's up there like the old man up there on top of the building.
Yeah.
Make that his main
And
sign,
another
and then
thing
the
to
gas
consider
station.
too is that nothing's changed, it was changed as far as the amount of signs has changed other than the name, how it was before.
So did he put those logos or those signs over Shorty's?
If
Like-
I went over there and took those pictures, no, they took the way it looks to me, I was there, they already had it done, but the way it looks to me, he took the shorty logo.
Yeah, because I don't remember Shorty's being on the top of these things.
I'm not familiar, they were already done is what I was told, I went over there to go see.
Okay.
Well, I don't mind that, the gas price, that's fine.
That
I don't
makes
have a
sense.
problem with that. And then, of course, as far as the gas
The thing
pumps
is,
themselves.
there's two sides. If we're gonna stick with the code, we just can't say this was good, this was not good, right? That's just subjective. But
The
stick with
code,
there's
the
only two
code.
sides, we're going with two sides.
Well, we could say it's not a sign.
Yeah, we
It's
can
a
say,
logo.
well, our definition, trying to define a logo versus a sign.
Or a portal over a trim. I had to throw that in, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
They did something, it called it a portal and it's a trim.
A logo is a sign, I'm sorry, but you're still advertising. Your sign is advertisement, your logo is an advertisement.
Should we have the same code for a convenience store versus businesses at the front?
I think the Board
I
of
don't think so,
Trustees needs to
yeah.
make that determination. It is not in our pay grade to change the ordinance.
Yeah, our pay grade 0.
Right. I mean, I've always tried to go as close as I can. That's my opinion. Commissioners, you all have your own minds.
Can we compromise and say,
I think you have to buy the ordinance.
you interrupted me? Ma'am.
Yes, come on.
I think we can logically say that the signage on the pumps are logos. Is that,
I would.
can we agree with that? I think it can come off the propane tank, the ice machine. Maybe not allow the beer original, the signs, the plastic ones, they should come down.
My concern is Commissioner, that these are subcontractors that are advertising on the property of the owner. So they're advertising the ice, they're advertising
Their
the
Their
propane.
own business.
Correct.
Well, that would be very similar to the fireworks building. Remember, they're selling a lot of other stuff, and initially they were coming in, they wanted to have like beef jerky sign up there, and we didn't think we didn't allow that because we allow 2 signs. Now they could have done a sign, a standalone sign, like a just what's in the store, kind of on a panel out in front, freestanding sign. But yeah, I really agree with that. A lot of these circled are not signs. I mean, we can go back and look at our code and say what signs are because they kind of describe it. But I don't know. It's a tough one, and it's totally different than any other establishment in town. So I think we need to make exceptions for that. So.
And this is a new owner that he isn't trying to pull anything on us. He's coming in and replacing basically what was there. Correct?
Right.
It's not like he's,
Other than the neighborhood.
correct.
All right, well.
All right.
Discussion, we'll have it on our.
I would like to make one more comment. My recommendation is that we go with the code, and then if and when the code gets changed, then you can add more signs, or.
Add more.
I think we need to stick with the code.
Thank you, commissioners. Are we done with the discussion? Are we going to continue with discussion?
Eddie, I got another question. On the first picture you have of the signs, or not, what's that next to up on the structure up on the roof? There's 2. It looks like it says diesel and gas. I don't think that's really necessary.
Diesel and-
Unleaded.
I don't think that's really necessary because you drive up to the pump and they identify it at the pump.
That, the one right next to the circle?
Yeah.
I think that's the digital, that doesn't work, the digital. price
Oh.
On the canopy there.
Oh.
Leaded and diesel price.
But I don't think they're working. It just says diesel price and then
Oh.
unleaded price.
Mhm.
That's-
Yeah, I can't really read it. So, okay.
Anything else? We can move on? All right. Okay. B, business owners at the plaza requesting approval to allow display merchandise outside their store to help promote sales for Christmas. Mr. Salazar.
Yeah, I have 2 businesses, fairly new to Nicia. They rented some space around the plaza. And obviously, they're new, they're trying to get some revenue to survive, and such. And it says, specifically, around the holidays or around weekends with the mercados, when there's a lot of people walking around, they want to be able to see, is it okay if I put a table, some merchandise out there to attract some people come to my store? There's nothing in our sections in the code that says anything like that, right? So even though I want to help these people, I don't know how to help them without bringing it to the commission to have a consensus between all of us make that decision. I didn't want to make it. Again, we're a business, are new, we want to help as much as possible, but what kind of problem is that going to create? If indeed it does create any issues, the trip hazard is
Yeah.
probably one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's the
if
main one.
merchandise that they put outside the door is not appealing to everybody, you know what I mean? Or someone doesn't want to go look at, I don't know, art or whatever. I don't go to the art store, right? I don't know. So I brought it up here to make a discussion with the commission to see what we should do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Salazar. And this, as we've had businesses come before us in the past. For instance, I want to use Heart of the Desert. They wanted to put their tables outside, like a Bristo tables, which I love that idea. Again, because of the traffic on the sidewalk, it just didn't go any further than that.
Right.
And for the same reason, the encroachment, there wasn't enough room.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, but I think it would be a hazard and we would be liable if anything was to happen.
Yeah.
We don't have a code for it, right? There's nothing, there isn't, as far as I know, unless it's changed since darn, this is a toughie too.
Yeah. I have another
Yes, Mr.
another concern. I could see a lot of clutter happening.
Oh, yes.
I mean, all the other,
Easy.
one store does it and the other stores are going to want to do it. And so I really don't think it's necessary.
And then Julian's, you can see that in the corner, they hang up all their stuff. They have
Yeah.
it right there in the plaza. That's another one. And people are running into the hangars, cars are hitting their clothes as they're parking on the sidewalks. Those boards, they're only allowed so many times a year, the
No,
sandwich
they're
boards.
temporary.
I
Yeah.
think it'll be abused myself. So I don't think it's a good idea. It's only
handicapped.
liability reasons.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I
Commissioner
agree.
Alba?
I don't like the thought of the clutter and the mess and
Yeah.
haphazard.
It may,
Liability.
yeah, liability.
Liability issues.
I agree with Commissioner Alba. I think we have to be ADA compliant, correct? And those sidewalks are pretty narrow.
Yeah.
Wheelchairs and
Walkers and all that. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? It seems like everybody's in consensus.
Well, I don't know.
Window advertisement.
Sorry?
Window advertisement.
Window,
window.
windows, and the windows are the doors.
I know specifically on the holidays is when they're
Trying to push their
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if you really want to expose to where there's actually walking traffic, McDonald's has windows.
Mhm.
I mean, you can be right outside the store. I think it was like $50 or something like that. Or I don't know exactly how much it is for the year, but it's not that expensive. Maybe you can have somebody have a small booth there. There's a small samples. We have store right over there.
In the plaza.
I mean, in the
You're talking about
plaza, like the
plaza.
farmer's market, the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have well, yeah, if they want to sell their
That's a great
product,
alternative.
Yeah.
it is compared to.
I always like to.
Mhm. Well, let them get a business license and they can do the stuff at the farmer's market. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, moving on. Oh,
I'm just thinking outside the box here. So if they already have a storefront business and they want to do this, but I just propose, do they have to pay for the whole fee?
Right, it's $135.
yeah, I think it's only $35 a year. Business license, 35. Well, it's like $35 is a business license and they can use it. I think it's more than reasonable. Okay, moving on. All right, now we're moving on to action and consideration. First case is 061922, 2928 Highway 28, submitted by Lucky's.
Madam Chair, this is 2928, as mentioned, Highway 28, was submitted by Lucky's. We did have a discussion just a few minutes ago regarding the sign permit that Mr. Johnston had submitted for. Again, this is a sign permit. He came to my office. He was in the process of already installing the signs. So therefore, very little information was I able to give him before that had happened. Upon visiting the site, again, I did notice all the signs in question, and we discussed about it. Obviously, I think all the commissioners have an idea of the amount of signs and what their recommendation is going to be. So,
Okay. I'll accept a motion to approve case 061922.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gallegos, second by Commissioner Miller. I'm opening it for discussion. I think we had our discussion prior for when we had our discussion. Are
Madam
you ready?
Chair, my apologies. I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
It's a side question. It has nothing to do with the application explicitly, but my question is, so do we know what's happening with people that are,
Violating?
no, because credit card fraud is a big charge, right? And do we know if there's any resolution to that for
Well,
customers?
There was no fraud. People
No,
just saw
no,
it.
it was just what
Yeah.
he said, yeah.
Okay.
And that's really outside of our scope. I think
It
we need
is.
to get
It's,
back.
it's a side question because it's part of the analysis,
Mhm.
correct? So it's here in the language, so I wanted to address it.
yeah, they thought concerned that there was actual fraud, but reality
There was not.
to stop
Just
that from.
confusion with the sign.
Confusion.
Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else, commissioners? Okay, if not, we'll proceed to the vote. I would like, in case, just whichever way it goes, the reason why you voted the way you voted. For the record.
Commissioner Ailes?
Yes, I approve, and my justification is that there's no change to what's currently existing. Just the name.
No change to existing. Okay. Commissioner Miller?
Yes, again, due to a new owner, had no idea that he was doing anything wrong. Commercial gas stations I see as different from brick and mortar businesses in the town of Mesilla.
Commissioner Walkinshaw?
I would also say yes, for kind of the same two reasons that the first two commissioners mentioned. I don't see any difference, other than I think some of those aren't signs, but it's a matter of interpretation, so.
And Commissioner Hall?
No.
Chair Lucero?
No, because it is not in our ordinance. Our ordinance is specific to 2 signs until the Board of Trustees take these cases into consideration and work on their ordinance for specific businesses, I guess.
All right. Madam Chair, the vote is 3-2, motion passed.
Okay, thank you. All right, our next item is case 061927 at 1010 Calle de El Paseo. Mr. Salazar.
This application was submitted by Mr. Kent Shen. He has hired window wall to replace 4 windows. Purpose for replacing the windows, they're old windows, they're a lot more energy efficient windows, double pane windows. There is a contract agreement on the packet, there's also a specs for all the windows. At the very last page is a diagram or a floor plan, in a sense, site plan if you want to call it. Where all the windows are going to be replaced, which windows in particular. Other than that, I stand by for any questions.
It's got to go through, okay, I'm sorry. I'll accept a motion to approve case 061927.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Walkinshaw,
Second.
second by Commissioner Miller. Opening it up for discussion. I just have a question. They do need a permit from CID. And you looked at it and bedroom windows, everything looked specs. All the specs were made, right? There were, nothing changes. Okay. I don't have any concerns with this.
Me neither.
Commissioners?
No,
No, nobody? All right, call for the vote.
pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw?
Yes.
Commissioner Alba?
Yes.
And Madam Chair Lucero?
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. All right, our next case is 061928, and that was at 1891 Avenida de Mesilla. Mr. Salazar, please.
Yeah, 1891 Avenida de Mesilla was submitted by Thomas Hutchinson.
Mhm.
Special approval to install a 25-foot artificial pole in a commercial parking lot on the Hacienda de Mesilla commercial parking lot. This is a commercial zone. Nautical pole will have 3 flags: the United States, New Mexico, and Navy flag. It will be professionally installed by EEI signage and will have a light at the bottom. See attached photos to actual location on the property. I did speak with Mr. Hutchinson. There is light already or electrical wiring already to that spot. So, there won't be any construction to run the power line to that particular spot where he wants to put the pole.
Okay.
I did get some comments from, Mr. Commissioner Walkinshaw over this case. I did do a little bit of homework. I was concerned about, New Mexico's dark skies.
Mhm.
That was my concern, yeah.
Mhm.
Sky. But according to our, Mesilla Town Code, we do have, a section in the code that's also, there's particularly 4 flagpoles,
Mm.
and for uncovered, lights, those, shielded
Shielded
shields,
lights.
and also any lights pointing upwards towards the sky, cannot be no more than 800 lumens, in the bulb. I spoke with, the applicant, Mr. Hutchinson. I did mention that to him. He mentioned that will be it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. And-
There is a height limit, in the commercial zone, 30 feet, because these poles in 25.
25.
And, with that, I stand by for any questions.
Thank you. I'll accept a motion to approve case 061928.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Walkinshaw, second by Commissioner Gallegos. I'm opening it up for discussion, and you, as far as I'm concerned, you answered my 2 questions that I had, so.
Yeah, I have a few.
Okay.
As you mentioned, in code 1845040G, any lighting system to be installed so it would have any glare and it would be downlighting.
Mhm.
That's what that code sections. But you go to the code 1850050I, and it does say flag illumination is limited to 800, like you mentioned, but it makes no mention of whether it's downlighting or uplighting.
Yeah, there is a section in the code that is uplighting, let me look for that.
Yeah, I think what I found was uplighting is allowed for vegetation and for landscaping, but no mention of a flagpole.
No, the flagpole in itself has its own particular, lighting, but also
Okay.
says, lights that are either uncovered or pointing up.
Mm.
It could be illuminating the flagpole, it could be illuminating anything,
Mhm.
would fall under that
Yeah,
section.
yeah, I didn't find that, so.
1865-220.
No, 1850.05, and it's under I. You can illuminate a flag, which you should do if you're going to leave it up all night. That's part of the US code. But it's limited to 800. But it says, and it's comparable to a 40-watt bulb. So, but it doesn't say whether it's downlit or uplit.
Almost by definition, it has to be uplit because the flag is up unless it's. pole
Well, no,
mounted.
you can pull
Pole
down.
mounted?
Yeah, I looked it up online.
It's gonna be on, 1850.050.
Yeah,
And that is gonna be section G. This is uplighting. That's what you mentioned, right? Uplighting on landscaping.
on
And
landscaping,
foliage shall be limited to 800.
right.
lumens.
But that's not landscaping.
No, it's uplighting on landscaping and foliage. Yeah,
And what?
you
And
could-
foliage.
Mhm.
So, but go down to I. It
Yeah,
does,
it says flag illumination is limited to 800.
Yeah.
Initial lumens, but doesn't mention.
Up or down.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do that. You can put, they got a lot of things online as far as installing it on the top of the pole, and it can distribute it. It says, one part of the code says, if it's capped, so it's not going up in the sky, shielded. You could do on a 15-degree on either side of it. So the question would be, if they put it up there, they would meet the dark sky limitations. And I think it would also light all three of the flags. But anyway.
It's a proposal that you can
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Put that condition in.
Could we add that as a condition, that it be
Yeah, you can
shielded
definitely put
from the
that
top?
condition, yeah. I just think that 800 lumens is the reason why you want it that low or that particular lumen.
It's not very hot. It's not.
It's not very significant.
Pointing up, it
Yeah.
won't affect the night sky,
Makes
but it
sense.
still does in the sense, but pointing up, I mean, pointing down definitely is much better.
Yeah.
I just don't know, if the applicant is comfortable with that, but I mean, really, we're gonna determine what's gonna be.
In my mind, that would meet our code in both cases. In other words, if it's downlit, that's fine.
Commissioner Hutchison, it just seems to me that, Waukesha, my apologies, is that the code is obscure in this interpretation.
Exactly. It is. It is.
Yeah.
Had we put on the flag illumination, it could be uplit.
Mm-hmm.
But I also would wonder if he's having 3 flags, the question would be if he only has one light that's uplifted, shooting up. I don't know if it would really catch all 3 flags.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
But Mr. Salazar, it's limited to 800 lumens despite how many flags he's displaying.
800 lumens, every 100 feet. If it's either pointing up.
Correct.
Or it's for a flag.
Okay.
Generally, flags come from the bottom up.
Mhm.
As a common.
Almost
thing.
always.
But I mean, you can use it on top of the street light.
Mhm.
But, again, it's depending on.
Yeah, well, I know the church, San Alvino, has their
Mhm.
flag pointing up and it doesn't disturb the night light. The plaza, we have lights on that and they're
most of that
shooting
are
it.
shielded in the plaza, I think.
Probably the brightest building on the plaza.
Well, that
Well-
might be something else we have to address. But anyway,
So we ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, call for the vote.
This is for case number 06-1928.
Correct.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw.
yes, with condition of downlighting.
I think.
Is it the
Yeah,
time to
it's
have
a
the
separate-
condition?
You have to have a new
Well,
motion.
he can add the condition, it's just not doing it.
Okay,
Because you had the first motion, right, and then, second motion was, like, you needed to amend your motion to approve.
okay,
To approve with the condition,
okay.
and then we'll vote on that, if nobody agrees or it doesn't pass, then we'll go back.
Then we'll go back.
Okay, we're voting on the original request, right?
We were.
But now we're changing it to
Yeah,
with a condition. So we're waiting back to the condition.
correct. He needs to make, which I'm sure he's gonna make a motion
Yeah.
to approve with the condition. they have
So
on
moved.
top, right?
Right.
So now
Correct.
you got to go back to each commissioner for that vote.
Correct.
Okay.
Agree?
Okay, so we're going back to with the one with the condition, and then we come back and vote for the other one.
Okay, so, this is the note with the condition to approve with the light on top as mentioned, as brought forth, Commissioner Walkinshaw. Commissioner Gallego,
No.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Alba.
No.
And Madam Chair Lucero.
No.
Madam Chair, motion does not pass. We will go to the original motion, to approve.
To approve. Exactly.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Walkinshaw,
No.
Commissioner Alba,
Yes.
and Madam Chair Lucero.
Yes,
Madam Chair, motion passes 4-0.
thank you. All right, moving on. Case 061934, 2469, Calle de Guadalupe. Mr. Salazar, please.
Madam Chair, I believe during our work session that we had earlier today,
Mhm.
Yes.
we should take the consensus that this case is going to be postponed to gather some more information. The applicants seem to be happy. I'm happy whenever they're
Yeah.
happy.
We're happy.
Right?
We're happy.
We're all happy.
So I think it's exciting, and I thank you, Mr. Commissioner Walkinshaw, for bringing that idea up. I think it's a great idea. We
Yes.
can somehow go back to the original state of that building where the box office is in the front. I think that would be so cool.
Yes.
So hopefully we can make
Yeah.
that work. So with that said, I'll take a motion to postpone.
Okay, we'll make a motion to postpone. I'll accept a
So
motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Walkinshaw. Any discussion? If not, we go for the vote. Go for the vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Walkershaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Alba,
Yes.
and Chair Lucero.
Yes,
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
very good.
All right.
All right, we're down to commissioner and staff comments. Staff, I'll have you speak
Yes,
first.
yes, yes, some exciting stuff is happening. Uh, Number one on my list is the comprehensive plan. We had a meeting with the sites southwest, the ones that are performing the interviews and the meetings and such. And they are gonna be, they're scheduled on the 14th of January to have a meeting, the first meeting with the community at the community
Your
center.
center. Mhm.
Okay, it's gonna be from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Okay, so again, I invite as many people as they can go. Basically, the topic is gonna be, they call it high level meeting. And a high level meeting generally is just the overview of what the community's main concerns are. The second meeting is gonna be a little bit more detailed as far as this individual's concerns and such. So again, I invite everybody to attend that meeting. Again, that's January 14th. The end of the year is coming to the end soon. We did discuss, I'm sure you brought it up earlier about as far as the terms of the commissioners. I'll double check and I apologize if I was wrong, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, please submit your application, your letter of interest.
Okay.
Simple email, say, hey, I want to continue. That's the word in this discussion.
Okay.
I wasn't able to open yours still, Mrs. Commissioner Mobile, but the mayor was able to do so. So we're good with that. So we do have it. I'm taking applications till, again, the 20th of December. So we haven't done, so make sure you get that to me.
I worked on mine today.
Well, you're still on for, is it,
Oh.
she's
Yeah.
still on for a year.
Yeah,
I know.
You don't have to submit yours.
I know.
And you're good.
No, I do. I gotta work on mine.
You gotta work on yours.
There was a applicant that came in, that wanted to get some information on, how to properly subdivide the property, in the plaza that is,
Really?
one building. They share a common wall, right? And I don't know, there's nothing in the code that
Common
I
law.
have to go through all these. Other than, we honor obviously it's not gonna meet the 8,000 square feet that's required, or I don't even know this required for the historical commercial, but they want us to be able to split the building, they want to sell half of it and keep the other half. Okay, so what process do we go about using the code for that?
Okay, do you want me to say something about that? We did have a case, which is the Guerra property right there on Calle de Picacho. And it is a community
Okay,
law. Yeah. And they sold that part of it. It was allowed. They got a letter from the adjacent property owner to allow it to, like we get the letters for them to give them permission to get into their property to work on the wall.
Right.
And we allowed them to build.
Yeah, so I guess my question is, how do I process that information or that packet or that application for y'all? Do I
Just like you would
use
anything,
regular zoning
just a
permit?
regular zoning permit.
Or something like that?
Mhm. Yep.
The STR, we did have an STR workshop, with the board of trustees, last meeting. Okay, they did, have no concerns with the fees, that are being proposed, that we approved here to the commission. There's some discussion, and they gave me some homework regarding the distance required between short-term rentals. They want to see if there's another option instead of, distances. They want to see if they can, they're proposing, or they're looking at, being able to allow short-term rentals based on percentage per zone, depending on dwellings. You know what I'm saying? So, HRs, all depending how many, like, say we're going to go
Mm.
25, 20, 10%, 5%, whatever it is, across all zones, and then that was what would determine the amount of zones. So that was one of the discussions. We did talk about densities, as far as how much density will be in a particular area. They understood that concern, but they still wanted me to research some other municipalities as far as how they were doing it. Also, fire inspections, right? Fire inspections, we did talk about
Yeah.
that, as far as the STRs being required to have, being inspected specifically if they're new. Again, I was also instructed to look at other municipalities to see where they stand.
Hmm.
And, basically, really, every municipality that I came across, they have annual inspections for their businesses. Speaking with, Greg Whited
Greg,
from the
yeah.
fire department, the chief, he mentioned that in our code, Mesilla Town Code, if we do decide to recommend or to require those inspections in the STRs, because it is residential home, they will need to amend their section of the code as well.
Mhm.
Because according to the Mesilla Fire Code, they do not require any inspections for home occupations.
Wow.
Either way.
That's what I was told. That's what he told me.
So
Right.
again, it's still work under the work session. There's gonna be
Yeah.
another work session on the 23rd. And they're hoping to have a hearing on the 13th or the second Monday of
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
For the short term.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a question as far as getting back to the fire code. I think to get occupancy, you do need to have a fire inspection
I would
In the
hope
beginning,
so.
we are doing-
in the beginning.
First,
So
yeah.
I guess the question would be, what are you saying that, right now in the code, it says every 3 years?
No,
Well, initially, but every 3 years after that.
Now.
That's what the code
I'm
says?
just saying the other municipalities in general, all of them that I know
Just
that they do require, they do it annually.
And
It's not something that we need to do that year.
Right.
I'm just saying that that's something.
that's,
that
yeah.
I think 3 years is more than
Yeah.
enough, I think. But again, going off of the fire code with Mesilla and a fire code in general,
Right.
how does that look with, and he's gonna be in the meeting, how's that gonna look
Okay.
with, inspecting a residential property?
Okay.
Right, so that's kind of like in the air.
Do commercial hotels have to be inspected every year?
Not in Mesilla, we don't have hotels, but
But in
generally
general?
businesses.
Yeah.
Well, we have
it's
one.
common for them to be
Annually.
fire inspected.
Yeah.
And Mesilla here does not require our storefront businesses to do so. Whenever this discussion came up, they did mention that it's something that we're probably gonna have to, amend.
That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
absolutely.
But we do have a hotel. It's a
Hacienda.
Oh.
Hacienda de Mesilla. Yeah. Okay.
It's a little,
It's 12
I
room.
look at it more as a short-term rental.
Okay.
I hear you.
I think, I think that's all I have.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Salazar.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any comments? Anything to say? Well, this is my last meeting. It's been a pleasure working this, it's been a long time since I've been serving. It's been a long, long time.
How many years?
Ooh, I can't even, at least. It has been interesting. I've loved serving my community.
Mhm.
I've loved keeping Mesilla the way it is. The people absolutely love it. I feel like I've contributed a lot being here. Mesilla is my love. It's my home. It's my heart. And I will continue to watch everything carefully, making sure everything is done by
Sitting over
code.
there, right?
If not, you Mesilla to heart, who we are, founding fathers wanted. This is the reason I respect our founding fathers. I respect the families, generations, and I'm gonna miss it, but I feel like my time is done. I'm hoping you find a good replacement for me. Good luck to all of you, and I'll see you at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully everybody goes.
Yeah, I think it should be fun. Thank you to the public, and that is it. If I don't have,
Thank you. I just had one other question about, are you asking for alternates in
There's gonna be also alternates,
this go around, the 20th? Okay.
there'll be probably 5 positions then, right?
Yes.
Because it would be three, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 alternates.
2 alternates.
So they're looking for 5 people.
Okay, all right, good.
I just want to say, Madam Chair, thank you
Yeah.
for your contributions for the
Yeah.
town this year. We will deeply miss you. Thank you for
Thank
all your
you.
service.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you very much. Eddie, it's been a pleasure working with you.
I would also like to say thank you very much, because I feel like you brought a lot of knowledge to me in such a short period of time.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry I didn't get to work with you. And I guess you made your introduction to the commissioners the last time, right? The last meeting. Yeah. Well, good luck to you. I wish you all the best.
Yeah,
And Messia is a jewel. It is
Yeah.
it's a southern jewel. So welcome on board. All right, then I call for meeting adjourned. Call for the vote.
yeah, so moved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
All right, it is, what time is it, Eddie?
6:48.
6:48. Okay, very good.
That one's still wrong.
Well, it's got a glare. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck to all of you. Wish you all the best.
How did Yolanda,
The party.
what in the world did you just do to me?
Right.
Hey, we are
You're leaving me.
Oh, you'll be
I
fine.
just,
You
I
just-
just learned from
Well, I
you.
kind of went for a ride and then I came back and they were, if they had scored, they could have come up and I
I've known
said.
since January.
I know, a year. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
So